some people on the property that shouldn't have been there.
So you think they're just going to release him?
Well, that's right. That's what the one guy said.
Yeah.
He just said, your friend won't be in very long. I'm just going to take him down to the station, talk him out, or check him out. So, depends on what they want to do, because like he's been here before and arrested. Like not, he was arrested at a different tree, just down a bit. But so it depends what they're up to. But as far as I know, he has been nothing but kind to them. So.
Cold night.
Yeah, it's okay. I was like toasty warm until the security guard woke me up.
Yeah. Was just you and him there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So where are you going? Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah, just over there.
On the other side of St. Anne's.
I don't know why he picked St. Anne's. Probably because it's quite nice. It's, as far as anybody's concerned, it's public property. It's private officially, but like, there's nobody living there. It's an orchard, it's free. People go back and forth through there. There's nothing to really, there's no reason to defend it against people sleeping there.
I mean, I think there's a lot of other ways to get address the issue of homelessness. I don't think what he's doing is necessarily doing it. It seems to me that he's just very, very, very stubborn, and that's the bottom line. I mean, he could be going about it in a lot of other ways. I mean, he could go and be sleeping at Centennial Square, where the City Hall is located. He could go sleep on the doorsteps. He could go sleep at the Parliament buildings. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, sure. I mean, St. Anne's is just as a good and central location as any other, but, you know, if you wanted to, there are other ways for him to get his point across. What's your take on it?
Well, I believe that he's right. I think that he's very brilliant. I think he's like a prophet of our time. And I think he's quite rare in that he has a unique understanding about a new way of living, and he actually is walking his talk. He's living kind of with nothing, and even the little bit that he does have is taken away from him quite often by the police and security guards, and so I think he's being unnecessarily harassed and not given credit for doing something that is for the general good of everybody.
You're all supposed to be good little Christians and good little this and that, and the reality is all we've got to do is we show our love to other people through service to them, and that happens to be the working poor, and that happens to be people who are sleeping on sidewalks, and I mean, what harm are they doing?
All we want is a safe place that we belong. And they don't want to give it to us. Because why? We're homeless? Because we're poor? Because some people have drug addiction issues? Well, I'm sorry, but since I've been here, I haven't needed to use drugs because I had a safe place where I could go to sleep. I didn't have to stay up all night and guard my stuff because somebody was going to farm it from me. I had a safe place that I belonged.
What responsibility, though, is it for the law to actually rule on that defense of necessity and not prosecute people who are simply trying to sleep?
Well, what you're doing, of course, is you're addressing the immediate servants of the powerful. These are the employees of the powerful, and they're doing what they're told to do. But that doesn't mean that it's morally right or legally right. But always, when we want to solve this, you have to go to their masters. And that is the legislators, the MLAs, the MPs. They're the ones that have the obligation to solve this problem, and they're the ones that can solve the problem.
As a government, we are in fact trying to address that. Certainly it's something that might have been something that should have been addressed years ago. But as a new government, our first term, we absolutely believe that we can raise awareness, we can find ways to deal with that.
Yeah, and so 4 nights of clapping hands above my head, stomping feet, playing a little stereo, shining a light in my eyes, saying things like, "Don't be falling asleep on me, Mr. Johnston," or "If you just hit one of us, Mr. Johnston, you would expedite the process." I've, of course, forgave them and said good morning when they left in the morning.
I was there every morning for at least 2 or 3 hours with him.
Yeah.
During the night, when they started this arresting business, They had other guards here, and they would take him off the property when the police came and put him in the cruiser with the police.
Right. But what, he said that there was a guard specifically hired to keep him awake at night.
That was early in the game, okay? They had Central Security was doing that. They were hired especially by Provincial Capital Commission.
That was Central Community? Central Security?
Central Security.
So you had to hire somebody
We didn't hire, Provincial Capital Commission did.
under
It had
Chris.
nothing to do with it.
Was it under Chris Anderson? Yeah.
Well, and her bosses and whoever, you know.
And so they were unsuccessful. Like they weren't able to,
Well, you can't touch him
yeah.
because that would be abuse or assault. And we'd be arrested.
He said two guards did carry him.
Yeah, because they were under orders from the Provincial Capital Commission to take him off-site bodily if necessary.
How can they have crosses? What is it? What is this supposed to mean? Was Christ's message not compassion? And what does it become now? What is it? The military has taken over? Ministry of Advanced Education? Come on, let's graduate to something.
Oh yes! Oh yes! Oh yes! Honourable Chong, for your timeless commitment to charities here on Vancouver Island, it has been decreed by Rotarians that you should be awarded the highest honour in Rotary, a Paul Harris Fellowship, named after our founder. In the words of Rotary's motto, service above self, we ask you to please accept this award on behalf of all British Columbia Rotarians. God bless Canada and God save our Queen.
You know, we recognize that there is a homelessness issue, and our government has, in this province, are trying to address that by the Premier having struck a homelessness task force where mayors from a number of the cities where homelessness appears to be becoming a greater concern, so bringing them together and trying to address this. In our recent budget, we've just added some more dollars toward that. We're working with the federal government as well.
It doesn't cost anything to not kick a sleeping guy. And it doesn't cost anything to have a kitchen that has the loving support of the community. And then the Garden of Eden sprouts from those seeds.
On the south side of St. Anne's Academy was the location of the juniors playground. And in the early days, the original location of the Sisters Cemetery near the steps to this area. From the kitchen area below the chapel, the sisters operated a soup kitchen for the poor. Interesting. They had heart at one time. Why did they lose it? What's happened? Why have things changed? Why are we no longer now not looking after the poor? The poor have become a victim of the times. Who was St. Anne?
St. Anne was the mother of the Virgin Mary. She's Jesus' grandma.
Really? Oh, that
St. Anne and St. Joachim were the parents of Mary, and that made them grandparents of Jesus.
And you're a sister.
I'm a sister of St. Anne.
How long have you been a sister?
Oh, let me see, 1949. What does that make me? About 55 years or...
Wow.
Yeah, that's about it.
Did you ever live at St. Anne's Academy?
Yes, I did. We had all made our novitiate over there when we first entered.
I'm just curious that I would think that the sisters would take a position on the fact that a homeless
Not
person.
our property anymore. It's public property. It's been sold to the